Greetings from our channel again. In the world of music, Rod Stewart's name has become an enduring emblem. Rod is more than simply an artist. He is a living legend thanks to his unique raspy voice and fascinating songwriting skills. With classic singles including I Don't Want to Talk About It, Tonight's the Night, and Maggie May, he was recognized by Business Insider as one of the top 50 best-selling musicians of all time. But can his life's shadows really be concealed by the glory of fame? Few can beat the record of almost 3.5 million people that attended Rod's free concert in Brazil in 1994. However, beneath that stunning figure are unmet expectations, tumultuous love affairs, and profoundly buried sufferings that not everyone is aware of. A young man who once aspired to play football became a famous musician. However, innumerable personal sacrifices were made in order to achieve such greatness. Contradictions abound throughout Rod Stewart's life. Between the limelight on stage and his private problems with disease, between international acclaim and invisible hardships, what made Rod a blazing star instead of just a youngster wearing football cleats, and what really happens behind the scenes of celebrity? Let's explore everything in this video. Childhood. Roderick David Stewart was born in North London on January 10, 1945, the youngest of 5 children born to Elsie Rebecca Gilbert, an English woman from Upper Holloway, and Robert Joseph Stewart, a Scottish master builder from Edinburgh. Rod spent his formative years in a small house above his father's Archway Road newsagent store during World War II. Rod, the adored youngest child in a family that was neither wealthy nor impoverished, remembers his early years as incredibly joyful. Rod did not have any noteworthy academic accomplishments. He didn't make an impression while attending William Grimshaw Secondary School and Highgate Primary School. Even if his academic records didn't suggest brilliance, his extracurricular interests gave hope for the future. Model railways were Stewart's main childhood hobby. However, football was his true love, which influenced his early years. In addition to being a huge Arsenal Football Club fan, he was the family's most gifted athlete and a standout center back for the Middlesex schoolboys. But music also had a compelling influence on his life. Al Jolson was a huge favorite of Rod's family, who frequently sang and played his songs at home. A love that had a significant impact on Rod's subsequent musical direction. The thrilling performances of Little Richard and Bill Haley and his Comets introduced Rod to rock and roll. Rod acquired his first guitar at the age of 15, and he soon joined the Cool Cats, a skiffle group, where he started to hone his musical abilities. Nevertheless, in the summer of 1960, Rod went to Brentford FC for trials in an attempt to pursue a football career. But when the team didn't make an offer, he had to make a crucial life decision. When asked why he decided to pursue a career in music rather than professional sports, Rod jokingly acknowledged that he was drawn to a lifestyle that allowed him to drink and create songs. Early career. Rod Stewart held a number of occupations during his formative years and his musical journey. After delivering newspapers and working at his family's shop, he accepted odd jobs as a laborer at a North Finchley funeral parlor and Highgate Cemetery. Although that didn't work out, he traveled to Denmark Street to try out for record producer Joe Meek in 1961, marking the beginning of his serious musical career. Stewart, who was drawn to folk music, became engrossed in the writings of Bob Dylan, Woody Guthrie, and Ewan MacColl. He also adopted the beatnik way of life and briefly lived on a houseboat in Shoreham-by-Sea. He also joined marches and demonstrations in support of the nuclear disarmament movement. Stewart had an equally turbulent personal life during this time. When Susanna Buffy, an art student, became pregnant, their relationship came to an end, and the child was later placed for adoption. Stewart started traveling around Paris and Barcelona busking with folk singer Wiz Jones at this period. In 1963, he was deported from Spain for vagrancy. Stewart had embraced the mod way of life by the middle of the 1960s, complete with the spiky hairstyle that would come to define him. After losing interest in rock and roll, he started listening to soul and rhythm and blues music after being inspired by Otis Redding's performances. Stewart's first professional musical performance occurred in October 1963 when he joined the rhythm and blues ensemble The Dimensions as a part-time vocalist and harmonica player. Internal strife caused him to leave the group early, but the experience helped him hone his harmonica talents and exposed him to London's thriving R&B culture. Stewart did not play on Millie Small's smash song, My Boy Lollipop, unlike what many people think. Peter Hogman of The Dimensions was probably the harmonica musician on that particular recording. Stewart's subsequent success in the music industry was made possible by the varied but difficult foundation these early experiences provided. Long John Baldry's discovery of Stewart playing harmonica at Twickenham Station in January 1964 marked a turning point in his musical career. Following this encounter, Stewart joined Baldry's band, thus beginning his professional music career and earning £35 per week. Known by his nickname Rod the Mod, he gained recognition in London's music scene for his unique style and developing musical abilities. He performed at places like the Marquee Club and made his uncredited recording debut on the song Up Above My Head. Soon after, Stewart's goals led him to pursue a solo career, and in August 1964, he signed a record deal with Decca Records. As a sign of his dedication to authenticity, he insisted on recording songs by Sonny Boy Williamson and rejected the mainstream tunes the company suggested. Good Morning Little Schoolgirl, his debut single, did not, however, make it to the charts. Stewart started a solo career and eventually co-founded the soul band Steam Packet following a brief falling out with Baldry in 1965 with Baldry and others. Despite opening for well-known bands like the Rolling Stones, the group was unable to record because of contractual problems. Stewart joined Shotgun Express in 1966 after Steam Packet broke up, but he wanted to concentrate more on composition after becoming tired of playing songs that weren't his own. These early experiences prepared the way for Stewart's own musical style and the extraordinary success he would experience in the years to come, despite the many obstacles and hurdles he faced in discovering his own voice. Success in a solo career. When Rod Stewart joined the Jeff Beck Group in February 1967, it was a significant turning point in his career. Stewart started a difficult voyage with Ronnie Wood, navigating frequent lineup changes and management disputes. Despite these challenges, Rod had a fantastic chance to develop his unique voice and style, which were included on the albums Truth and Beck Ola. Internal conflicts, however, became unmanageable, and Stewart took the bold choice to quit the group in 1969, which ultimately led to a new phase in his career. He started establishing his solo career after signing with Mercury Records a year later. An Old Raincoat Won't Ever Let You Down, his debut album, established his distinctive fusion of rock, folk, and blues, but it did not see significant financial success. Additionally, he joined Faces at this time, when his talent blossomed, especially with albums like Never a Dull Moment and Every Picture Tells a Story. However, as Stewart's stardom started to overshadow the other members, the enormous success of the hit song Maggie may cause conflicts within the band. The band broke up by 1975, and Stewart embraced his solo career to the fullest. In addition to relocating to Los Angeles that year, Stewart also shifted his artistic direction. His sound underwent a dramatic change with the release of the album Atlantic Crossing, which featured Tom Dowd and the Muscle Shoals rhythm section. Stewart's prominence as a rock star and an internationally influential performer was confirmed with the song Sailing, which became a global anthem. Rod, however, never gave up on exploring new areas. He made his disco debut with Dia Think I'm Sexy in 1978, shocking the music industry. The song peaked at the top of the global charts despite being attacked for selling out, demonstrating his unending inventiveness. Rod Stewart was a multifaceted artist who experimented with everything from new wave to the sophistication of synth music during the 1980s. Even in the face of controversy, like as when he performed in South Africa during the apartheid era, he was able to sustain his star power with albums like Foolish Behavior and Tonight I'm Yours. Stewart continued to be a creative force in spite of the criticism. Jeff Beck's music continues to inspire, as evidenced by a beautiful cover of People Get Ready during a brief reunion. With the release of the album Out of Order in 1988, Stewart triumphantly returned, a masterwork that combines contemporary and classic sounds. In addition to being a commercial hit, the song, Forever Young, struck a deep chord with listeners because of its sincere message. He reached new heights on his 1989 South American tour, which attracted over 90,000 fans to Buenos Aires River Plate Stadium, demonstrating his ongoing appeal. Rod Stewart had a wandering heart when he stepped into the 1990s, a creative and emotionally charged record. His position at the top of the world charts was confirmed by the hit song Rhythm of My Heart, the duet with Tina Turner, and It Takes Two. He broke the record with a free concert at Copacabana Beach in 1994 that drew over 3.5 million fans and was inducted into the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame. Few people could match that astounding figure. Rod Stewart has demonstrated that a genuine artist never sits back and takes pride in their work. Instead, they are always trying to find new ways to express themselves via their music. His tale continues to inspire people all across the world. ongoing development, and innovation. Rod Stewart has demonstrated that talent and passion never run out after decades at the top of the music business. In addition to being a musical legend, he is a creative force who is always evolving and prepared to push the envelope in order to appeal to new audiences. Rod started a new phase of his career in the early 2000s by reinterpreting traditional American songs and delving into the Great American Songbook. In addition to paying homage to classic songs, albums like It Had to Be You demonstrated that his unique, raspy voice could give well-known tunes a new lease on life, appealing to both seasoned listeners and brand-new listeners. Rod continued on his artistic path. His 2009 album Soul Book, which revived vintage soul and Motown songs, demonstrated his love of a variety of genres. This was not merely a work of art. It was a declaration. Rod Stewart acts as a link between generations and genres, demonstrating that music transcends all borders. He continuously showed that reinvention doesn't diminish his essence. Whether he was embracing the holiday spirit with his 2012 Christmas album Merry Christmas Baby, or going back to rock and roll with the same great rock songs of our time. Instead, it demonstrates the adaptability and tenacity of an artist who never settles for less. But Rod's success is about more than just chart positions and album sales. His 2013 album Time signaled an emotional comeback to writing his own songs. Motivated by the process of writing his autobiography, Rod used music in addition to words to tell his narrative. His continued appeal is demonstrated by the album's #1 UK debut, which broke the record for the longest interval between chart-topping albums. This achievement wasn't merely commercial. Rather, it was a victory for a musician who had mastered the skill of introspection and directing it into his songs. Rod has shown in recent years that he is a tireless inventor in addition to being a steward of his past. In addition to reimagining his previous classics, albums like Blood Red Roses and You're in My Heart, which featured the Royal Philharmonic Orchestra, have brought fresh depth by fusing classical and modern elements. These endeavors demonstrate Rod's capacity to reimagine his music, preserving its vitality and relevance for future generations. Rod's values go beyond only music. His audacious decision to turn down a lucrative offer to perform in Qatar in 2022, citing human rights concerns, cemented his reputation as not just an artist, but also a morally upright person who isn't scared to speak up for what he believes in. His status as a representation of honesty in both music and character was emphasized by this action. Rod's unwavering work ethic is a testament to his enduring love of music, as well as the continuity of a career that has lasted more than 50 years. Rod Stewart is more than just an artist, with a career valued at around $100 million and a lasting place in fans' hearts. He is a cultural figure who has inspired people all across the world and will do so in the future. Personal life. Rod Stewart, who is frequently portrayed as the glitzy performer on stage, has a colorful, turbulent, and romantic life. He also struggles with severe health issues that have cemented his reputation as a resilient person. Rod has been married 3 times and has been in a lot of relationships. He has 5 different ladies and 8 children. Like his music career, his love life has been both spectacular and difficult. After a 5-year marriage to Alana Hamilton in 1979, Rod had 2 children, Kimberly and Sean. However, their divorce in 1984 resulted from irreconcilable differences and Rod's hectic schedule. In 1990, he wed supermodel Rachel Hunter, but the two of them had 2 kids, Renee and Liam, before their marriage terminated after 16 years. Rod said that this split was a huge shock and made him face his inadequacies in fostering family ties. In 2007, Rod and Penny Lancaster, his 3rd wife, achieved security and contentment. He has raised 2 kids with Penny, Alistair and Aiden, and they have had a happy and stable marriage. Described as an inveterate romantic, Rod and Penny enjoy candlelit dinners after their kids have gone to bed. He claims that this is how he maintains the spark in what he refers to as true love. But there have been difficulties in family life. In addition to numerous arrests and a noteworthy incident at Miami airport for disorderly behavior, Rod's son Sean has also had legal issues. Despite these challenges, Sean maintains a close relationship with his father, speaking with him often and spending time with him when Rod gets back from his travels. Rod Stewart has struggled with serious health issues in addition to family issues. When the British rock icon was diagnosed with thyroid cancer in May 2000, the world was taken aback. His millions of loyal admirers were devastated by the news, which also stunned the music business. Stewart, who was well known for his frenetic performances and distinctively raspy voice, unexpectedly developed a serious health condition that threatened to destroy both his life and his storied singing career. Following his diagnosis, Rod acted quickly, having the malignant thyroid removed during surgery that same month. The thyroid, an essential gland that produces hormones to control metabolism, had grown to be a major worry. But the dangers went farther. Because the procedure might harm his voice cords, which had previously been impacted by a benign lesion. It was a difficult choice. In addition to being necessary for survival, surgery endangered his voice, which was the lifeblood of his musical career. There was a lot of stress and uncertainty following the procedure. Stewart had to overcome the enormous obstacle of relearning how to sing, which was a physically and emotionally exhausting process. He put in a lot of effort to restore the strength and clarity of his voice through intense vocal treatment and rehabilitation. This stage involved not only a physical recuperation, but also a process of self-reinvention and performance resilience. Rod became actively involved in humanitarian endeavors after overcoming illness, especially supporting research on pediatric cancer through the City of Hope Foundation. The challenges, however, did not stop there. Faced yet another cancer battle in 2019, this time prostate cancer, nearly 20 years later. He once again displayed his incredible strength and resolve by keeping this 3-year battle under wraps until revealing his win in public. In addition to his fight with cancer, Rod has had knee and ankle operations due to football-related injuries. These difficulties put his physical stamina to the test, while also serving as a reminder of the value of family. The recent arrival of his third grandson has shown how important family is to Rod. His kids have politely asked Dad to calm down because they are worried about his health, especially as he gets ready for a 40-show global tour. From personal romances and family hardships to severe health issues, Rod Stewart's life is a tribute to tenacity, love, and unwavering passion. Even if he is not as well known, his legacy lives on in the hearts of his family and millions of admirers throughout the globe. Current existence and legacy. Rod Stewart, who is 79 years old, is still living a vibrant and changing life despite facing the difficulties of aging and health. In spite of his more than 50 years of dedication to music, he is still eager to pursue new career paths while juggling his love of art and his family. Is scheduled to release Swing Fever, a joint album with Jules Holland, in early 2024. With this effort, he makes a big change by moving away from rock and roll and towards swing and jazz. It not only demonstrates Rod's versatility as a musician, but also serves as a reminder that he never stops trying to reinvent himself, even in the face of shifting musical trends and the passage of time. In addition to his musical endeavors, Rod continues to tour internationally. In March 2024, he is set to play in a number of Asian nations, including Singapore, Bangkok, Tokyo, and Kuala Lumpur. However, occasional cancellations or postponements have been caused by health concerns, as is episodes of vocal cord irritation and COVID-19. Despite this, he is adamant about keeping his promises to his followers, which reflects his lifelong passion for performing. Rod Stewart has prioritized his family even more in recent years. He has spent more time with his wife, Penny Lancaster, and their kids with the birth of his third grandchild. One constant source of encouragement has been Penny, assisting Rod in striking a balance between his work and health. In order to concentrate more on his health and family time, his kids have also stated that they would like to see him cut back on his hectic schedule. In addition to being a musical legend, Rod Stewart is a living example of tenacity, creativity, and unwavering commitment. Over the course of his more than 50-year career, he has impacted millions of people's hearts with timeless songs like Maggie May and Sail, as well as intensely intimate albums like Time. Because of his ability to move fluidly between rock, soul, disco, and the great American songbook standards, Rod has been able to bridge genre borders, unite fan generations, and establish a very personal sound. However, Rod's music isn't the only thing that defines his legacy. His personal hardships, from battling cancer to dealing with family demands and public scrutiny, have highlighted his unflinching moral fortitude. In addition to persevering, he has used these difficulties as motivation for his life and art. His strong support of human rights principles and his active participation in philanthropic endeavors show that he is not just a talented artist, but also a kind guy. In addition to leaving behind a great artistic legacy, Rod Stewart leaves behind a potent lesson in resiliency and a deep love for life as he gets ready to say goodbye to rock and roll performances and pursue new musical endeavors. His story serves as a reminder that enthusiasm and unwavering effort are the keys to conquering any obstacle, no matter how high or low life may be. In the hearts of millions of fans across the world as well as on stage, Rod Stewart will always be a legend. His legacy will continue to inspire upcoming generations of artists and viewers. He was a guy who lived life to the fullest, loved sincerely, and worked ceaselessly. How do you feel about the inspirational path of Rod Stewart? Which of his songs has influenced you the most? Please leave a comment below with your opinions, and remember to hit like and subscribe to come along and learn more about musical icons. We appreciate your time and hope to see you in the next video. Farewell.